Hi guys, welcome. Welcome to Cultivating Consciousness with Denise. Today we're going to address manifesting in the middle and why you want to get out of there. Give the middle the finger. Get out of the middle. I'm going to start with sort of an analogy. Well, actually, for anyone that's wondering what the middle is any circumstance or situation or condition that appears or happens in between the concept of your desire and its fulfillment. So all of that stuff, right? If you are manifesting a job, a specific job with a specific company, the interview is the middle, like you turning in your resume, all of those things are the middle. And it doesn't mean you're not going to be prompted to send a resume or to show up for an interview, but it means that's not where you want to put your awareness, and that's not what you want to consciously manifest is, they look at my resume, they call me in for an interview. And in fact, I had a client recently that didn't get a job, but she did get an interview, and she recognizes it's because she didn't really believe in the fulfilled desire, but she did believe in getting an interview, and she put her effort and her awareness and her attention on that, and she got that, but it didn't go any farther. And so yeah, anything on the way, anything prior to fulfilled desire, like your actual desire in entirety being fulfilled, is considered the middle. And what happens a lot is people want to manifest circumstances and conditions in their immediate future, or their present moment or their immediate future, that they think will allow them to give permission to believe in their middle. But all of this is about faith. All of this is about knowing. All of this is about accepting your desire fulfilled. So, back to that example, or let's talk about a specific person. If your desire is to be in a committed relationship with somebody, but you continue to consciously manifest and create that they're sending you messages, taking you out on dates, oftentimes because you're not because, if you're not believing in the fulfillment of your end. For those of you that do, this is irrelevant. But if you're not believing in the fulfillment of your actual desire, you might believe in the fulfillment of getting a message. And now you might get a message, and that message might be really warm and sweet, but it also could be cold and aloof and have this, nonchalant vibe about it. You also might be creating dates or manifesting dates with this person, but maybe they'll ghost you for weeks afterward, or maybe the date won't be fulfilling and they'll kind of treat you icky during it, or like whatever. The point I want to make is that when we put our effort and our attention on manifesting the middle, we will see things that appear to be movement. But I want to reiterate to you guys that every single manifestation, every single now moment, every single circumstance is completely separate and has nothing to do with any other circumstance. It's our assumptions that are tying reality together and putting it in this story, in this loop of that happened because of this, or because that happened, this will happen. But even still, unless you fully believe when my person texts me, that means they want a committed relationship with me, you're going to see the hot and cold. You're going to see the things that are showing up where it seems like you're getting somewhere, and then it feels like you're going back and not really experiencing what you want. So a good example of this, right? And a good way to kind of remind yourself of where to put your attention and where not to put your attention, I think, and because I like ice cream, um, if I were to walk into Baskin Robbins and I know what I want, but I'm going to start telling them in steps, right? I walk in and I instruct them to grab a large or medium sized cup. And then I'm going to say, put 1 scoop of gold medal ribbon and 1 scoop of mint chip in it. And then I'm going to say, put hot fudge on it. And then I'm going to say, put whipped cream on it. And then I'm going to say, put chopped nuts on it. And then I'm going to say, put a cherry on top. And maybe I'll even say, put some sprinkles in there. Oh, and I forgot the banana. You were supposed to cut up a banana at the second step or third step or whatever and put that in there too. I wouldn't do that, right? And that's the middle. When I walk into Baskin Robbins, I say, I want a banana royale. Or I don't say it that way. I say, hi, how are you? I would like a banana royale. And then I trust and I know that any information that's required from me or any action that I need to take, I will be prompted to do so. They know what to do and they'll ask me when they have a question. But it's not my job to tell them step by step how to make my finished product. Just like it's not your job to manifest step by step your fulfilled desire. And in fact, doing so can cause confusion, it can cause delays, it can cause, what we could call miscommunication with yourself and yourself as source or as the universe. But what I'm saying is that it's going to give the appearance of a delay of fulfillment because you're going to stay in that middle space where you're not quite seeing the fulfilled desire, you're not quite getting what you want, instead of just going to the end of your fulfilled desire. And trust and know that things are going to appear along the way, and you'll be prompted when you need to take action, right? Like it if you're manifesting a committed relationship with somebody, obviously they're going to start reaching out and communicating with you. Obviously, they're going to start spending time with you. And that's going to build into the committed relationship. That's part of it. You don't have to worry about that part. It will happen automatically. And in fact, it'll happen automatically and faster, and it'll feel more fulfilling if you are continuing to hold faith in your actual end desire instead of practicing to hold faith in a component that looks like it might be related to your end, but if you're not really believing in your end, it's completely separate and it doesn't actually matter, right? We all know a date doesn't confirm a relationship. We've all been on dates and are not with people we've dated, right? Even a relationship can change. But that's the whole point, is go to your end. If it's marriage that you want, go to the end of being married and stay there and trust that unfolding of that process. Have faith in the fulfilled desire. If you know you want a specific job at a specific company, have faith in that. Make that what you continue to put your awareness on, and trust that the interview will happen automatically and you're not going to miss it. You're going to be included on that. You'll know when to take action and when to show up. The other thing is, a lot of people ask about manifesting in steps or stages. And I would say, yes, absolutely, you can. You always can do whatever you want. But like I've just explained, if you're not having faith in your end, then your end is not going to come. It's not going to show up until you have faith in it. And even if it shows up, I've been in this situation, I've been in committed relationships that weren't fulfilling because I just wanted to be in the relationship. That part was easy for me. But the part about it being a fulfilling relationship, effortlessly fulfilling, wasn't always easy. And so I would be in the relationship, I would have the commitment, but it would be kind of a living hell because I wasn't living in the end of, oh, I'm fulfilled in this relationship. I wasn't giving myself permission to go there. So back to what I was saying about steps or stages, I would say the only time you want to manifest in steps or stages is if you don't yet know that you want that. In other words, if you're thinking, I might want to work for this company, I might want to play this role in this company, but I'm not sure I want to create or manifest an interview with them so that I can get a feel for the company and how they operate. And if I want to be there, then I'm choosing that. So that would be in steps, right? Then you get that interview, but then whether or not you want the job and what to do next. It's not about, I know I want to work here, but I'm going to just chunk it down and do it in steps because I don't believe I can work here. Because it's the whole point is us expanding beyond what we maybe are initially drawn to believing, and allowing ourselves to have faith and giving ourselves permission to believe in our fulfillment. And the farther you go with that, the more your reality will respond to that, and the more magical and the more amazing things will start to become for you. So that's why I don't want people to, chunk it down and play small, because there's no point. It's like you're breadcrumbing yourself, really. And same thing with a relationship. If you're not sure that you want a relationship with a person, but you want to feel them out, you want to go on some dates, and you want to see how you feel with them and what you think about them, then yeah, do it in those steps because that would make sense. You don't want to focus on a committed relationship if you're not sure that that's what you want. So that's the only time I would suggest you ever manifest something in stages or in steps is if you're not sure yet what you actually want and you want to feel it out. Maybe I want this car, but I want to test drive it first, and then you create that a friend of yours just bought that new car or whatever, and you get to drive it, or you go to the lot, whatever. I'm just saying that, you don't go to the end when you know what you want and do it in steps when you're not sure yet if you want all that commitment or you want that car or you want that job or you want to be with that person yet. So I think that's everything I wanted to say. Just really focusing on knowing that this is about you stretching beyond your beliefs, right? Stretching beyond what you would normally, naturally assume or believe for yourself. And that's the faith part. It's allowing yourself to have faith and go beyond and trust in that end and just decide that because you say so, because you're aware of it, because it's what you're holding on to, because it's what you're, and I mean holding on to in awareness. I don't mean like gripping onto in the 3D, but you're holding on to it in awareness. You're trusting and having faith that it will be yours. And you're not interacting too much or dealing with anything that's falling short of that fulfilled end. That's another component of the middle is if you are creating a relationship with a specific person and maybe they're showing up in your current reality, but they're kind of falling short of your ideal, I would suggest you stop interacting with them because it's just like if you go to a restaurant and order a meal, if they bring the wrong thing out, more often than not, you're going to say, I would like what I ordered. Right? Unless you really are okay with it and you're like, oh, actually, I was going to order this and now I'm trusting that this is, what I really wanted. But if you're feeling about it, if you're feeling uncomfortable, communicating with this person, if you're, every time they message, you get a pit in your stomach, or like every time you're talking, you're trying to figure out what to say or how to say it so that they like you or whatever it is, like that is not you living in your end. That's you living from the fulfillment of, I'm, trying to manifest this person to stay with me. Or like I was doing, just a relationship, right? Oh, we are in a committed relationship. However, I'm not fulfilled and I don't feel the way I want to feel. So I would say too, like, don't mess with the middle at all. Don't interact with the middle. Don't engage with the middle. Don't put your attention and your awareness on the middle to any degree. If it's not entirely what you want, then ignore it because it's not worth putting your awareness and attention on. Your awareness is God. Your awareness is what creates. Bring your awareness over here where the ideal, completely fulfilled version exists and become aware of that and stay there and believe in that, have faith in that, trust in that. Go all in with that and you will get there so much faster. All right. And without all the headaches and frustrations. Okay. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will see you next time.